Today, we are talking about my job and what I absolutely hate about it. And there's also things that I hope in the future I don't have to repeat. I learn from my experience now, and next time when I'm in a similar situation, I know how to go about it. Mind you, I work at basically the nicest spaghetti factory there. I think in the world, actually. I think it is the nicest spaghetti factory. It's not that nice, but it's pretty nice. But what that means is a lot of people come in, and the company's always very successful, which means everybody else is very successful too. The host, the busser, the server, the dishwasher, everybody's successful basically. Like majority of the time, you're gonna get hours that you want, right? They're gonna give you like a bunch of hours to the point that you could actually just do it full time. Like it is that successful. And I love restaurants like that because you don't even need a second job because the restaurant's so successful. Now, every restaurant is well known to cut your hours, like not just a little bit. I mean, they will cut your hours heavily. But this restaurant particularly does not cut hours that much unless the restaurant's really, really dead. And it doesn't even happen that commonly. Like I used to work at a pizza place, and at that pizza place, I was getting sent home every hour. Every time I clocked in, and then she said, "You need to go home." I'm not kidding you. That is what she said to me. She said, "You need to go home." I'm like, I just got here. It took me 10 minutes. I got ready, and you're telling me I need to go home? Like that these situations, they don't just happen every day. These situations are not that common, but they are pretty common. And you need to be ready for these situations. And that's why majority of people that are intelligent, that are smart, not me, now, hopefully in a couple of years, I will be intelligent enough to be aware to not trust any kind of restaurant. It doesn't matter how successful they are. They will cut you. They don't care. They care more about their money more than you. So, for you to be prepared for that, you need two jobs. You need two jobs. Always. No matter what, you need two jobs. Because if they cut your hours at this restaurant, you could just go to the other one and say, "Hey, I'm looking for more hours. Do y'all have some?" And they will give you more hours. And that's why you need to rely on two companies and not one. Even servers have multiple jobs. If you're a busser, you need to have multiple jobs. I say two jobs is good. Some people have three. I don't know how they do it. They're not human. I swear they're not human beings. I could barely, when I had two jobs before, I could not fathom. Anyways, my manager that I used to have, his name was Nick. I can say his name because he doesn't work at the restaurant anymore. He moved because the people upstairs, they got, he works at a different restaurant. He works at a different oil spaghetti factory, and he makes more money there. That Nick, his name is Nick. He is an amazing manager. He's great. I love him. He was so fun to be around. I'm really sad that he left, and his scheduling I had no problems with. Like I I work lunches, which means I make not that much money basically. And the reason why I like working lunches is because um, dinners are just like it, it's a dogfight for a schedule. Like every host, every busser wants to work dinners because there's more money for dinner. And so for me, I'm like, it's better if I'm able to just get 5 days. And basically, I make like the same amount of money, if not more, because I work 5 days compared to if I work dinners, right? Let's say I work dinners, my hours would get cut and I would be working like twice a week to like 3 times a week. So it's better for me to work dinners. It's better for me to work lunches because I'm a newer person. I've been there for 4 months, but I'm still technically considered pretty new. So I'm not gonna be able to actually have a saying in like what I want in my schedule, basically. So that's why I like to have at least a couple days, a couple days off, basically. Like that's why I like to work lunches just because I know that there isn't as many people that are going to come in. And I also know that I'm not going to get good restaurant tips because I get tipped out by the company. And so I know that the company is not going to make as much money, which means I'm not going to make as much profit. But it's okay because I know that the company likes to have the same busser and same host at lunch. That's their like one thing is they try to have the same like the same people as much as possible for at least like a long time. So that's their one thing. And so for me, I've been a busser for like I think like 2 months, and my manager has been just scheduling only lunches, right? And I've been working 5 to 4 days a week, and I don't really care because I know that it's summertime. I know that they're going to start cutting my hours heavily. I'm aware of that. And so now my manager, Nick, leaves. He's gone. And now my manager, Dan, he's a great guy. I love him. I can't even get mad at him. He's just such a nice guy. Like, I don't know what it is. He's a great guy. But he he's surprising me. I'm busting the tables and he comes up and he's like, "Hey, do you like my scheduling?" And I'm like, "What? Are you doing the scheduling?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Have you seen it?" And I'm like, "No." But when I realized that it was him doing the scheduling, I was so excited because I'm like, "You're my favorite manager out of everybody." So that means I'm gonna get my schedule. But like I'm gonna get my dream schedule because he's the go to the go. You feel me? He's like my favorite manager. But I don't know what it is about managers. Right when they're able to like be in charge of your schedule, they'll just mess it all up. I don't know why. They'll just destroy it. Now, I don't know what it is, if it's like authority or something, but it is what it is. And he tells me, I go on my break, I look at my schedule on my phone, and I'm upset because I'm like, damn, I got 3 days off. This is terrible. So I'm like, hey, I see that my hours got cut. And he's like, yeah, it's because it's like, summertime. So everybody from college and high school kids are all trying to get basically trying to get hours. So I was like, okay, I'm aware of that. That makes sense. I understand. So the next week comes up and I'm looking at my hours. And I'm not kidding you when I tell you this. I work the 27th, the 28th, hold on, and then on Sunday, the 2nd. That is August the 2nd. I miss 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And then on the 2nd, right? Which on normally, basically they're literally 100% out of 100% of the time. On Saturdays, sorry, wait, oh my gosh, I'm not even working on Saturday. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay. On Sunday, I don't know why I'm scheduled on a Sunday. Um, I work 10:45 to 4 p.m., which means it's not like I'll make like no money. It's that I will make minimum, like maximum $200. Now, let's say I got the same schedule and I worked 12 p.m. Sorry, I worked It's a Sunday, which means Sunday they make a lot of people come into the restaurant. So obviously you're gonna make like as a busser, as a server, you're gonna make more money on a Saturday, Sunday, and a Friday. You're gonna make more money because everybody wants to go and work, eat some food. Honestly, Saturday and Friday are the 2 days that are like the biggest. So, and they're the biggest at dinner time. And you want to mainly work at like 4 o'clock. You don't want to work at 10 o'clock because who's coming in at 10 o'clock? Who? Who's coming in at 3:30 on a Saturday? Nobody is. Everybody's coming in at dinner. Now, that's why I'm like, holy cow, I could actually make like I would have made actually like not not a lot of money, but I would have made a good amount of money if they scheduled me like 4 p.m. to 10:45. That would have been a good amount of money because there would be a lot more people that would come in. Now, it's still a Saturday, so not a lot of people still come in actually. It's kind of Saturdays are like they're busy, but they're not that busy. Um Sorry, Sundays they're busy, but they're not that busy. Normally Saturdays they're really busy. So you want to really mainly work on Saturday. Dan tells me, "Hey, look, it's okay. Your hours." He told me in advance that this would happen, so I was a little bit aware that Dan was gonna tell me this. So I was like, I looked at my schedule and I literally was gonna vomit. Like this is I am making no money. Like before, I was working minimum I've ever had off. I've had 2 days, 3 days off. I've never had more than that. That isn't preposterous. Like the restaurant is too busy, you know? But I was like, actually, it makes sense. It's summertime. I understand why Dan made this decision. Like I understand why he made the decision and I'm okay with it because he's a great manager. I know that he wouldn't just screw me up. I know he wouldn't just screw me up. If it was any other manager, I'd be like they're just screwing me up. They're literally just they hate me and so they're just like cutting my hours as much as possible. I know Dan wouldn't just screw me up, so I know that he wouldn't just set me up like that. Um, but I go look on Poached, I go look on Hot Schedules, and there's this girl, I don't know, I'll call her Allie, right? There's this girl named Allie. She literally just got the job 1 month ago. I think even less than that actually. And I'm looking at her schedule. Normally at the restaurant, if you've never had any kind of restaurant experience or anything, you start with a host and then you move to busing because you don't have any experience of working in general. So they want you to be upfront, know how to talk to the customers, and then you could be a busser because then you can kind of help out with both. So this girl named Anna, she, for some reason, she's been doing it for 3 weeks. She got moved to fully busing, which is really shocking because when I started working at the restaurant, I was there for 4 months, for 4 months up front as a host. As a host, I was there for 4 months. So now I'm kind of surprised that she got moved. And I'm like, okay, but it is what it is. Now, Anna, I think I said the same name. I don't remember. The girl that got moved. I'm like, I look at her schedule and I'm like, what the heck? Why is she scheduled 30 plus hours while I am over here that I've had more experience. I'm barely getting 15 hours. barely. And I got to pay my bills. And I'm like, how is she getting more hours than me? How? And how did she get moved so fast to to busing? Everybody minimum is there for like 3 months. Like everybody's there for a long time, and then they get moved to busing. You basically gotta earn it. You feel me? Because you make like $200 more money. It's a significant amount more money. So I'm like, I'm shocked. And now I'm just straight up pissed because at first, Dan, I was like, all right, I understand that I'm only gonna be working Mondays and Tuesdays and Sundays. I understand that. And he told me in advance, by the way, I only want you to be like you're gonna be my main lunch person. And I was like, okay, I understand. The other managers said the same thing, right? And they, they said it, and they kept my schedule the same. I understand. But now I'm confused because I'm like, it's not like you're cutting my hours. I'm not even the lunch person anymore. I'm not your main guy. You can't say I'm your main guy anymore when I'm working minimum 3 days in a row. I can't be that main guy that you need for lunches if you're going to be cutting my hours that significantly. You can't call me the main guy anymore. It doesn't work. So I'm just getting confused because I'm like, hold up, you're cutting my hours severely, but you're saying a lot of college students are coming in, but I'm looking over this person is working 30 plus hours, 30 plus hours, and then there's me struggling, literally struggling to get 15 hours. And to be honest, it's gonna be less than 15 hours because I'm working a stupid Monday. Nobody comes in on a Monday. Nobody does. Bro, have you ever thought about going into a restaurant on a Monday? No, no one comes in on a Monday. Nobody does. I've never once was like, I would love to get some pizza. I'd love to get some spaghetti on a Monday. No, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Thursday. Thursday, yeah. I'm pissed. So I decided I've been I've been a lunch host. Oh, sorry, a lunch busser for the last, I think, 3 months. It hasn't been that long. I think 3 months, maybe 2 months. It really hasn't been that long. And when I saw that my hours got cut severely, I'm like pissed. And I'm like, hold up, I have to pay. I gotta pay my rent. I gotta pay my phone bill. These hours are gonna affect me. Now I do understand that this is only gonna last for 2 more months, but I'm not taking 2 more months of hell. I'm not going through 2 months of barely getting any like money. I can't go through that. So what I decided to do, and I'll tell you two things I did wrong. But what I decided to do was I decided instead to move all my schedule to 4 p.m. and beyond. 4 p.m., 5, 6, because the restaurant is pretty successful after basically 4 o'clock. Mondays are successful, Tuesdays are dead, Wednesday they're dead, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're they basically only got like 2 days of like chill, and the rest of the time they're busy. It's a busy restaurant almost the whole time. But at lunches, it's dead every single day, Monday through every single day, 7 days a week. It's dead at lunch. But now the reason why I didn't uh like uh move my schedule to the nighttime was just because there's so many people that want to work dinners. So for me, it's smarter to just work lunches because I know that I'll just get the hours that I want because nobody else, uh, no, the restaurant doesn't like to move people around at lunch. But at dinner, they will move your schedule around. They will give you sometimes 30 hours and they'll give you like 15 hours, or they'll give you 12 hours, or they'll give you literally 8 hours. Like they will not, they will, your schedule will go like up and down. But at lunch, your schedule is literally going to be smooth the entire majority of the time. It's going to be pretty consistent because they really don't like to move it around that much. So that's why I've literally not cared about moving my schedule ever. It's because it doesn't matter because I'm actually making like a pretty significant amount of money, just because my schedule is like so flat compared to working dinners. It goes up, up and down, up and down, up and down. It's not consistent at all. And that's why I've been working lunches because it's such a consistent schedule, even though I don't make that much money. But on a grand scheme of things, I actually make a consistent amount of money. And that's why that's why I like working lunches, even though I actually make less. But in the future, I actually make like the same amount, if not maybe a little less. But now, since my hours are literally like dinner, but now like my hours are working Monday, Tuesday, and then I have 4 days off, basically 5 days off. I have the next 5 days off. It's smarter for me to just work dinners because then I could just go up and down. But I could go up and down and work basically the same schedule. And let's say on Monday, let's say I don't know if y'all can see it. I don't know. But let's say on Monday, right? Monday the 27th. Let's say I work at 4 p.m. and clock off, let's say at 10 p.m. I would still make more money because off of tips. I make a lot more money because I'm there longer. I'm actually there longer. I might get off at 11 o'clock. That's a very normal time to get off when you're a busser at night. So that's why it's smarter to just be working at like a consistent schedule at night. Um, that's why it's better, even though my schedule is going to be up and down like this on a like in the future. I'm making way more money, even though I'm still working 3 days a week. I would still make more money because more people are going to come into the restaurant, right? And so that's why I'm like, hold on. I can work Mondays because I know Monday dinners are busy. I can work Tuesdays. Tuesdays are dead. Wednesday, they're dead. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I mean, it's just money, money, money. Like money, money, like money's everywhere. So that's why now I'm moving my schedule because I'm like, I'm sick and tired of my schedule going up and down. Lunches need to be consistent. If they're not consistent, you need to leave immediately. And now, before you think I'm stupid, that you should have just known that um, dinners are going to be like, sorry, summer is going to be super busy. Like you should have known. I applied to a restaurant. Okay, I knew that my hours were going to get cut heavily. I was aware of that. I just really messed up the interview. Now, this time at the end of summer, what I'm gonna do is immediately apply to a restaurant that is literally right across. This like right across. I'm hoping that I get that job so that I could get both jobs. So when one of them starts to cut my hours, I could start to be like, all right, I'm gonna start working more here, and then I could, then I could do a little tip tap, little tip tap. That's the goal, and that's in the end, that's what servers, that's what bussers, that's what you want to do. You never want to rely on one restaurant. It doesn't matter how successful they are, because this restaurant, they're literally successful, um, like 5 days a week, or sometimes honestly every single day. Like they're so busy, they're so successful. But on those times when they are slow, you need to be able to be prepared and say, hey, I got that job, and I could go rely on that job to help me out. And so that's what I felt like I messed up in. And I felt like I didn't really prioritize it because I thought this restaurant was going to be like the goat, the goat of the goat. But I learned every restaurant literally does this and stabs you in the back, literally stabs you in the back. Like you get so surprised because you're like, damn, this restaurant's so successful. How the heck are you cutting my hours so heavily? Oh, oh, I know why. Because you're not supposed to rely on the restaurant. Don't ever rely on a restaurant. Rely on two restaurants because now you can go back and forth. And that's what's important. You need to be able to go back and forth. If you're not going to go back and forth, you're going to get stabbed in the back. You will get stabbed in the back. Because I've gotten stabbed in the back multiple times. I was a dishwasher. I got stabbed in the back. Bro, like every restaurant, it doesn't matter what position you're in, you will get stabbed in the back for sure. And so that's why you want to be able to rely on another company so that you can basically still make a consistent amount of revenue. And so that's what I learned is don't rely on one restaurant to help you out. But I will admit this restaurant is so successful that majority of the time they're, like I know a guy that literally only works here. He only works at one restaurant and he only works at the old spaghetti factory. Like they're that successful. It's just for me personally, I cannot rely on a company that's willing to cut my hours 5 days straight. And to be honest, really, I mean, I could not work any of these days. And to be honest, I feel like I would make like an extra, like I'm only making $100. Like it's so bad. Normally, like literally within the next 3 weeks, I'm gonna make how much money? 30. I make I make like $200. Normally I make $500. Five. I'm making $200. Like this is why you need to be able to have two jobs. Because guess what? Literally, one company will just cut your hours so much, even though they're successful. Even though you can literally look at somebody else's schedule and be like, "Oh, why are you giving them 30 plus hours and then I'm over here getting barely any money?" You know, I wish I could ask the manager. Like I wish I could hate the manager or something, but the manager is really, really nice. Dan is a great guy. He really is. It just sucks. It's just I don't know what it is. They just start every manager starts to have a little bit of power and they'll just screw with your schedule. And you're like, hold on. And I try to tell each and every manager, be like, hey, this is the schedule I want. You think we can make this work out? And they're like, I mean, maybe. I don't. I mean, I'm not even the one that does the schedule. Like my other manager, he literally said, I'm not even. I just listen to the people upstairs. I don't even do the scheduling. So I'm not even that mad at Dan because I'm like, I don't even know if he's doing the scheduling. I'll be honest. He's such a chill guy. I know he would give me my hours that I want. Like I don't know if he's even doing the scheduling. I think personally there's the people upstairs, right? They're like the people in charge of the managers and the whole restaurant. I think they're the ones in charge, even though we don't even talk to them. Low key, I think they're the ones in charge. Because I swear to God, every single manager I've ever spoke to, I'm like, hey, these are the hours I want. I never get them. And every other person never gets their hours too. And I'm like, who is it? And only one manager has told me, like, hey, by the way, I'm not even really doing the scheduling. Like I'm doing it, but I'm just listening to the people upstairs. I'm like, who are the people upstairs? Who do I need to speak to say, hey, these are the hours I want? And what can I do to make it consistent? Like I'm not even mad at the managers because I'm like, I swear there's someone up, someone above them that like tells them, hey, you need to do it this way. So I'm like, I can't even get mad at him because I'm like, I don't even know who's doing the scheduling. Like I've been working at the restaurant for four months. I literally still don't know who does the scheduling. I've heard different answers. I've seen people leave. I've seen managers leave, come back. I've seen literal managers leave, and then we get a new one, and I'm like, who is it? Every time I'm like, who's it gonna be? Who's the one that I need to blame on? And every single time I get a different response from each and every. Like, God damn, bro, who's doing it? Who is it? And I'm just like, I'm done. If you're gonna work at a restaurant, you better be prepared to have two jobs because there's literally no way that you are financially able to survive. There's no way. I don't know what you're doing. If you're not selling drugs on the side, if you work at a restaurant and you're not selling drugs on the side, or you don't have two restaurant jobs, it's, something is sus. Something is sus about you. Or you don't, or you live with your parents, because then that makes sense. That makes sense. If you live with your parents, everything adds up. But like, you better have two damn jobs. If you live in on your own and you only have one job, that is sus. Like, that is so sus. Like, I'm like watching you two times and making sure like what's in your pocket. Are you trying to sell me something? Because that's what it looks like to me. Because it's literally not possible. Like, I make a good amount of money, but now I'm like, I swear to God, a homeless person on the street could be doing this with their sign. Swear to God, now they with my hours that I work, they make more money than I do. They make more money. To be honest, to make extra money, to make extra living, I might, you feel me? I might be out there and being like, hey, you know, please, please, I need more. And that's all I'm already doing on the hot schedule every day. When someone leaves or someone if its schedule is open, I'm pressing that button, being like, please, I want to pick it up. And then of course, like, I freaking get denied. Like, the restaurant industry is like amazing because the people are great, but at the same time, it's like so annoying because you're just like, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep putting my like brain at stress, hoping to make like I need to make by the way, I need to make this much money. If I don't make this much money, I can't pay for my bills anymore. I don't want to be in this situation, right? I really don't want to be in this situation to do that, and I can't put myself in a hole like this. And so for you, like, you have to have two jobs because then you're gonna put yourself in a hole. Like, if I moved out right now out of my parents' house, I would not be able to pay my rent even though the rent is cheap. But if my hours get cut, what am I gonna do? The company, the rent company is not gonna be like, well, he couldn't pick up hours. They don't care. No one cares. The only way you can do it is by having two jobs. If you don't have two jobs, you are literally going. I don't know what you're doing to survive. My coworker, right? He only has this job. I don't know what he does. If he sold drugs, I wouldn't be amazed. I wouldn't be amazed. Bro, they're cutting my hours heavily. They're cutting everyone's hours heavily. I wouldn't be amazed if he was selling drugs. I wouldn't be amazed. Half of the people at this restaurant, they look like they're gone out of their mind. I ain't gonna lie to you, right? I'm gonna keep it at stat. They look like they're a little bit gone. And I feel like if you work at a restaurant, you're a little bit weird. You're a little weird. I'm just pissed off, bro. Like, why in society? Why do we need two jobs to just make to make to make to make rent due? Why do we need two jobs? Not just one, but we need two. We need two jobs just to make sure everything adds up. My first job I ever had, I said, "How are you making money? You work at a plant store." She said, "Duh." She said, "Duh. I have two jobs. You think I make actual money from here? I just try to pay for my bills and I work another job after." Like, God damn, what? Why? What? How did we get here? How is working two jobs a standard? Pisses me off, bro. I'm sick and tired of this life, bro. Sick and tired of it. Sorry. Sorry. This was the tea today. This is the tea. I needed this. I needed this. I honestly might start crying. I might start crying. My ex, bro. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trolling. I'm trolling. But like, dude, if you're gonna work at a restaurant, I'm telling you right now, no matter what, I don't care how successful the company is. I couldn't care less. You better work two jobs. I don't care. You better work two jobs. And don't ever work a summer job because you're just I don't know what you're doing. Don't ever work a summer job. Those jobs are lame. They are lame. Unless you live with your parents, don't ever work a summer job, bro. I've look. I've messed up a lot in my life, but I've never messed up to the point I worked a summer job. Never, never. Couldn't do that. You gotta be somewhat special, like somewhat really special in the head to think that you're gonna work a summer job. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop it. Like you need help if you think you're gonna work a summer job. Like, hey, go ahead and work at a restaurant because at least that restaurant job is gonna have you. Like, don't ever work a seasonal job. Don't ever work a seasonal job, bro. Like, what are you doing? Stop it. You know, it's just like, what are you doing, bro? So, but yeah, that's what. If you learned anything today, um, I'm glad. And if you learned about what it feels like to work at a restaurant, here I am, you know. But trust me, I got so many more stories, so many more stories about different coworkers that I work with, different servers that I work with. I got so many more stories about my coworkers. And so I got so many more. If you're interested, please let me know. But yeah, if you really enjoyed it, please let me know. And if you have any questions about me or about my restaurant industry, please let me know. And if you want me to talk more about the Old Spaghetti Factory and how goddamn cheap they are, even though from the outside looking in it looks really expensive, truth is they're a really cheap company. I will tell you all about it. Please, thank you so much, and you have a great day.